Hey everyone, today I wanted to talk with you about foam rolling and some of the various applications so that before you're foam rolling you can really get the most out of the time that you're putting into it. Many different applications for foam rolling and different purposes for different times. So I just want to give you just a general overview in this first video on kind of how and why and when to choose the different modes of foam rolling. And then we'll talk about some of the different tools that you can use to achieve the desired results. Okay, so for this first part, we'll talk about the three different areas or applications for foam rolling. First would be a general warm-up. Okay, so I'm going to show you what a warm-up foam rolling technique would look like and talk you through why we do it this way for a warm-up. So starting here, I'm just going to work on my glutes here. So for a warm-up, the purpose is to just heat up the area, right? To raise your general core body temperature, to heat up the muscles and the connective tissue, and to prime those muscles for later activity, whatever that might be. So this would be something where we're gonna really just do nice, slow passes, right? The full length of the muscle, right? Trying to avoid going over any bony areas always, depending, no matter what application you're using this for. But nice and slow, we're just really kind of pancaking, like we're rolling out dough, creating a pressure wave. Nice and slow. You'll notice that a general warm-up is going to be faster foam rolling than any other technique because we're just really trying to hit several different muscle groups, just general warming them up. This might be prior to a workout, like a high intensity workout. It might be prior to a run or a hike, or just working in the yard. Any type of activity, foam rolling can help and be beneficial for. So other than just warming up the area, what this does is increase your range of motion. Like I said, it primes the muscles to actually become, it will maximize their potential, so you'll get more performance out of that muscle, and you're going to reduce your risk of injury because everything is going to be primed and ready to go into maybe a fit warm-up where we're getting from general to really specific of what we're going to do in that workout or any other type of activity. You'll notice a big difference if you do a little bit of foam rolling before an actual warm-up. You'll feel so much better and you'll really be ready at the end of that warm-up to start working out. Okay, so nice and slow. I'm spending anywhere from 20, 30 seconds, maybe a little bit longer, depending on the need for that muscle group. If it's something that bothers you a lot, you might have to spend a little bit more time on it. But again, we're just kind of doing general passes. You might speed up a little bit if you're only have 5 minutes and you want to get several muscle groups, or you can flip over right into your quads, right, that full length, nice and slow. Sometimes you can even flex and extend that muscle group if you need to. It really just kind of opens up a little bit more, break up a little bit of sticky tissue, things like that. And the more you do this, you'll find your own personal techniques and ways you'd like to do this and what's effective for you. So it's kind of, a lot of it is exploratory as well. So that's what it's going to look like for general warm-up. You can hit as many muscle groups as you want. Depending on how much time you have is how much time you can put on into each muscle group. Okay. The next application for foam rolling would be for post-workout, okay? More in terms of recovery and cooling down. So really, everything would slow down a little bit. What we're doing during a post-workout foam roll is really to kind of lengthen that muscle to kind of promote your recovery processes from starting, to prevent any of those adhesions or knots from forming because everything is cooling down and getting sticky. So we want to lengthen that out, kind of iron out those adhesions. It also flushes out a lot of the waste material that builds up when you're working out, so it promotes that recovery process to start. Okay, you can do this post-workout, the following day. If you need to continue to kind of work out some soreness and things like that, but nice and slow, slower than your general warm-up, okay? Take as much time as you need to for those specific muscle areas. Sometimes you might already have some adhesions or knots built up, so you really would slow down and go super slow, or stop completely on that muscle or that knot to try and break it up. The important thing is to go nice and slow, to breathe through it, right, and really relax. That's how we're going to get the most bang for our buck and really let our muscles and that tissue break up and get the most out of it. Okay, so nice and slow. Really, like you're rolling out dough again, creating a nice pressure wave all the way through, not going over any bony material, not going over your joints. And if it's super painful, that's probably where you need to lighten up how much pressure you're putting on your tool, or maybe use a different tool. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But if it's too much pressure and too intense where you're tensing up, well, you're not going to be able to relax and actually break up that tissue. So we need to kind of lighten it up or use a softer mechanism or tool to achieve the desired results. Okay, so that would be post-workout recovery type of thing. And the last application for foam rolling would be general maintenance. Like this might be on a rest day or something we call active recovery. It can be more a targeted approach that you can do to break up specific knots or problem areas that give you a lot of problems from day to day. So what this would look like for that specific application is, I'm just, say, general maintenance. I'm exploring a muscle group to see kind of what's going on in there. Maybe you've got some tightness or soreness somewhere and you're just exploring around to see kind of what is causing that. So the best way to do it is think of it as exploratory. So you're going that full range, nice and slow, kind of pancaking through that muscle. And then all of a sudden you get to a really tight spot or a sore spot, something called, what I've been calling adhesions or trigger points, or just general knots, okay? So when you get to that area, you're gonna stop on it, you're gonna relax, you're gonna breathe through it, and you're gonna spend about 45 seconds generally on that area, really just being as relaxed and calm as possible, okay? And you'll notice that that specific tightness or soreness will start to dissipate through the course of that 45 seconds. And when you don't feel it much anymore, maybe it was about 30% of what it was initially, that's how you know you're making some good change and you're breaking up that tissue and restoring its properties of healthy tissue. So once you've broken up or feel like that pain is dissipated, then we'll keep on moving through that muscle area, find another spot, and kind of wash, rinse, repeat, okay, in that same mechanism. Okay, sometimes I like to, for example, on my quads, okay, same exact application, just kind of exploring, see where those knots are at. Once I find one, I'll stop, kind of relax. Sometimes you gotta take a nice deep breath in, let it go, and really sink into it, okay? Then, like I said, sometimes you can flex and extend through that. What that does is kind of really shear apart that tissue and really get inside there and kind of to reduce some of those adhesions, right? So then you move that next piece, kind of flex and extend. Does not feel great, but it really is effective. And then move to that next piece. So you might have to go that entire length, just wash, rinse, repeat, spend some time on each area of those specific muscle groups. So this protocol or application, it takes a lot longer depending on how much you need to work out. You can do this as daily maintenance. It really helps to reduce the amount of time you have to do it each day. If you kind of keep up with it, if you do it post-workout and kind of iron out some of those adhesions from even building up over time. So this more of a targeted approach, good for those days for rest and active recovery, to kind of help your range of motion, clear up those adhesions. It's a great stress relief and good for your reducing muscle tension and things like that. Okay, so those are really the three different ways we foam roll and kind of why we do them and when we do them. I'll talk a little bit here in closing, some of the tools that we have available to us. So a general foam roller, this one's a little bit narrower. They sell much wider ones up to 2 feet or 3 feet. They have a little bit more application. You can use them for more things. So if you're gonna buy one and only one, I would go with a little bit longer one because you can do more with it for your money. Next is different size foam rolling balls or massage balls. Okay, so I've got 3 different sizes here, and just like foam rollers, they come in all different shapes and sizes and density and firmness. The reason for that is everybody's different, everybody's muscles and tissues are different, and what we can take and what's going to be effective for us. So the massage balls are great because they can get a more targeted approach. These are going to be more for your general maintenance, doing more of your knot and adhesion release, and really targeting smaller muscle groups that are a little bit harder to get to with your foam roller. A little bit, so they get into more direct areas and a little bit more painful, but you really just play around with how much pressure you put on each individual tool. This one is a little bit softer, but it's great for areas that are like your hamstrings to apply some more direct pressure, more of your upper body areas as well. Same thing for kind of this medium-sized ball. It's a little bit firmer. It's great for your feet. You can use golf balls, tennis balls, any type of ball. Here we got lacrosse balls. So these, the smaller you go, the more targeted it gets. And so if you got specific issues, that's where you want to switch over to some of these smaller devices. Other things around the house, you can use a dumbbell, because if it's rounded, and you can lay on the handle, pad it up a little bit. You can use bottles, different types of bottles, just go nice and slow with it. You can use a rolling pin, things like that. So PVC pipe, a lot of people go and purchase these at hardware store and build their own rather cost effectively. Or you can go online, you can buy these as like packages, and they'll come with a foam roller, various sizes of balls, massage balls to target all your different needs. So I hope that helps. That should give you enough information to kind of get started. If you've got questions, feel free to reach out to us at Fitwit Old Fourth Ward, and we'll be happy to help you out along your way, provide more resources that you need regarding foam rolling. Thanks, guys.